Hi guys, we're at Maxwell Food Center today and we will be exploring a few traditional hawker dishes that may have a lot of meaning and value behind it. Some of these dishes plays a significant role in the history of Singapore, thus they are named as national dishes. But do you actually know the meaning or value behind them? Without further ado, let's go find it. Many of you should know, Singapore is a multiracial and multicultural society. Thus, it's important to have food from every race or every culture, maybe from a hawker center, because hawker centers are there for masses of people. Even though most hawker centers have Chinese food, but obviously you will still have Indian food, Malay food, Muslim food that actually gives us a great alternative and shows us, really shows us the different races or the different cultures we have in Singapore. Hainanese chicken rice! Okay, as many of you should know, Hainanese chicken rice is seen as a national dish of ours. Why? Basically, most Singaporeans know about it and most tourists who come to Singapore once and will try Hainanese chicken rice. But do you guys know what's the history behind this dish? It's adapted of early immigrants that came from the island of Hainan in China, and it was originally called Wen Chang chicken. And throughout the years, it has been adapted and changed to suit the taste of Singaporeans. The locals use a particular fowl that is bony and fibrous and a ground green chili dip that rounds off the dish. However, when it was brought into Singapore, the dish is infused with local Cantonese influences which inspired the tangy red chili sauce dip and the use of tender young chicken. It also added the use of cooking the rice with pandan leaves on top of ginger. Pandan is a tropical plant and for a long time it has been widely used in Southeast Asia. Pandan leaves is specialized to Singapore because it is only found in Southeast Asia. The Cantonese therefore incorporated pandan leaves into the dish to add fragrance and to suit more to locals' palate. Back then, our forefathers took whatever ingredients were available to them at that point and recreated a taste of their homeland. Along the way, they integrated influences from other cultures which they were exposed to, and it became the Singapore food we know today. This dish also shows Singapore's multicultural society. The different cultures modified and caused this dish to evolve. It is now commonly served with achar and sambal, which are borrowed from the Malay and Indian cultures. And here we are. We have this famous dish that represents us as Singaporeans, Hainanese chicken rice. But anyways, right, do you guys know that Tian Tian Chicken actually have won many local awards, and also some international chefs also comes over to Tian Tian Chicken Rice in order to try the chicken and maybe learn something from it. And it really shows how important this dish is to us as Singaporeans and how many tourists and people from other overseas also view this dish. Before that, do you guys know that there's actually a $32 chicken rice in Singapore?
Chicken rice where got so expensive?
350 only, yeah.
Let me share with you guys the story. When Menu Hotel was about to open, right, their owner hired an executive chef, the head chef of their Chatterbox restaurant. Him and a team of locals, they went to Orchard Road to try out different hawker foods. And then they finalized on 3 hawker foods: chicken rice, laksa, and char kway teow. He realized that there's actually no perfect way of cooking chicken, and then he found his own way of cooking chicken rice. And since then, right, he has became award-winning, super famous, and now it costs a whopping amount of $32.
Oh, as you mentioned earlier, this dish actually came from Chinese immigrants from Thailand, right?
Yeah.
So, it kind of reflects our Chinese culture in Singapore, right?
Yeah. And I kind of get why it's seen as a national dish. Imagine a typical day, you walk by a chicken rice store, and you smell the fragrance of the rice and the fragrance of the chicken, you'll be like, whoa, I want to eat chicken rice. And thus, obviously Singaporeans will enjoy this dish, and maybe that's why it's seen as a national dish of Singapore.
Actually, not only the chicken, actually the rice also is very unique. It has very nice fragrance.
I guess this dish actually kind of reflects us, shows belongs to us as Singaporeans, and it's something that's quite unique to us. So yeah, we should be proud of it.
roti prata is actually a South Indian flatbread that is made by frying stretch dough. And it is flavored with ghee, which is a type of Indian clarified butter. And is usually served with fish or mutton curry. And the dish has evolved from a pancake recipe in Punjab, which is in India. So let's try it.
Actually, the best thing about it, right? Prata, you know, Singapore is like, because Singapore is country made of immigrants, so prata has really like evolved throughout the years and like adapted, you know, by newer and different people, you know, trying to take a different catch on it. You know, nowadays, you know, in those Indian food centers or some Indian coffee shops, you guys actually see prata served with ice cream, or prata served with chocolate, and then there's, you know, there's this.
But durian also.
Yes,
God.
and then there's this tissue prata thing, which is like tissue prata thing, which is like extremely thin, and then they put some ice cream in it. Although I haven't tried it before, but it sounds quite. And I kind of get why like many people feel that prata kind of is also a dish that represents Singapore. Because you know, when we talk about Indian food, right, especially for us Singaporeans, the first thing we'll think about is prata. And then from our previous interview, there were also a few people who mentioned that, you know, prata is what they feel also that also represents Singapore. So yeah, quite interesting. And from what I know, people in India, right, they actually don't eat prata that much, but instead they eat naan or something like that. So like I think it's kind of more popular in Singapore, I guess because it like suits our taste or something like that in a way. So yeah, another uniquely Singapore kind of dish. Yes.
Rojak is a traditional fruit and vegetable salad dish which is commonly found in Indonesia, Malaysia and Singapore. Other than referring to this fruit salad dish, Rojak also means mixture in colloquial Malay. Without further ado, let's try this.
Okay. Yes. How's it?
I like the youtiao.
It's really good.
I'm quite impressed by how like the different elements of this dish really comes together as a mix. And together with the sauce and the peanuts, right? It actually tastes like one whole dish, but actually with different small parts that actually quite stand out. Firstly, this dish reflects the Malay culture of Singapore. It also shows like kind of how like us as Singaporeans, Singapore, right, we have different races, Indian, Chinese, Malay, others. And then we actually come together and we, you know, there's a harmony between us and we come together as like one big and one united Singapore. So yeah, I think this dish kind of shows the aspect of Singapore and kind of shows like how our society is built up upon. So yeah, very interesting dish.
Actually, like the most traditional rojak is actually like fruits and vegetables, right? I think most Singaporean younger generation don't know how to appreciate lah. Cause like when you're young, then your mother buy rojak, then you only eat all the youtiao, right? Which the youtiao adds a very good Singaporean factor to it lah. But I think as we grow older, we will know how to appreciate this dish more as a whole.
Hey wait, before that, do you guys realize or do you guys think why are the tables in hawker centers usually circular?
Not really. Why?
It's because since the 1970s when hawker centers, you know, are a thing, it's a place where families come together and have a variety of food together but at the same table. So thus this circular setting allows families to sit, you know, around the table and share the food together. So it's like kind of like a communal sharing, like friendly for families thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like see in America they always see in all those square rectangle tables, quite individualistic, like based on my opinion lah. It really reflects on their culture.
Yeah, and while you know, in Asia, our culture is more kind of like, especially the Chinese culture is more kind of like family oriented, sharing those kind of things. So yeah, it really, I guess it reflects our Asian culture in a way our hawker centers, right? next dish we have with us here is carrot cake. Wait. Where's the carrot?
It's just the name. It is made with radish cubes, stir fried with eggs, garlic, and preserved radish. There are two common kinds of carrot cake. The first one is the light one, which is seasoned with light soya sauce, while the dark one is preserved with dark soya sauce instead. The one we have in front of us is the light one, and it's more commonly found in Singapore.
Anyway, so where did this dish actually originate from?
It originated from a Chinese Teochew dish that can be traced back to Chaoshan, China.
And it's brought to Singapore by Teochew immigrants. Okay, originally, right, this dish was known as char kway, which was simply cubes of radish stir-fried. Because people then were quite poor. However, as Singapore modernized and different people actually tried to improve this dish. Now we have it stir-fried with garlic, preserved radish, as I said, and eggs. Okay, I'm very hungry already. Okay, let's just start trying. Wait, do you guys realize, right, that the egg actually acts like a glue that put all the radish together? And fun fact, this is actually something special about this white carrot cake we have in Singapore. Carrot cake that's found in other Asian countries such as Malaysia, they are usually the dark one, where it's just stir-fried carrot cake with the dark soya sauce, and it's in bits and pieces. However, the white carrot cake we have in Singapore is actually in like big pieces, kind of gives us more of the idea of a cake. So yeah.
But actually, like when it first came to Singapore, it wasn't actually the white version. Like it's more common for the dark version. But there was this pioneer hawker that created the white version. After that, he made a variation of the dark one. Then he sold it at People's Park in 1970s. Then it became very famous. But actually back then he didn't use preserved radish. It was actual radish. So it kind of evolved throughout the years, I guess.
You guys realize many of these traditional dishes, they actually undergo a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Because Singapore is actually a country of immigrants. So as many different immigrants from the same country actually come, they actually bring something new or something different to the scene, so they can improve and get to the dishes that we have today. And hey, another fun fact. Do you guys know why the plate is in green color that looks kind of like a leaf?
Why? Oh, is it because it's also on banana leaf last time?
That's right. So long time ago when it was first sold in Singapore, it's actually plated or presented on banana leaves, as styrofoam plates weren't the thing last time. So thus these plates we have here today actually tries to give us the idea or the feel of those carrot cake, being given to customers on banana leaves back then in the 1970s.
Now in some very few hawker centers also still have the banana leaf thing.
Yeah. So the last dish we'll be having today is char kway teow. So I guess most of you know what char kway teow is, right? So char kway teow is basically flat noodles fried with yellow noodles, bean sprouts, fish cakes, sausage, Chinese sausage, cockles. So what's so special about this dish? In my opinion, many of us Singaporeans since young, we would have tried this dish at least once. And this dish actually originates from Penang or from Malaysia. But you guys look that you guys want to try. Okay, so let's start eating first. Let's go. This dish is kind of interesting in terms of how the fish cake and the sausage is supposed to be savory or salty in a sense, but yet the dark soya sauce actually gives a sweet touch to it.
It's also served on the banana leaf plate.
Yeah, right. As we mentioned earlier, most of these dishes were served on banana leaves. And thus, these plates are supposed to give a feel or a nostalgic feel of how this food used to be served in the past. Yeah.
I think nowadays, the Singaporeans don't really eat this dish because everybody perceive it as very high saturated in fat. But actually, back in the days, this is very popular dish among the laborers because it's like very cheap but very high in fat, which is like a source of energy and nutrients for them.
So if you think about it, right, like back in the old days, it was actually taken as a food for the poorer class, and they actually enjoyed the food because it is high in fat, extremely unhealthy, but yet very cheap. But today we're actually taking it as a taking it as a local delight. It really shows how these foods, right, the meaning behind these foods evolved throughout the years, and how these foods really show more of the traditional side of Singapore and show the history of Singapore.
Last time like this one is like on the street side. Who know that it will become like so popular in modern days now?
As we said earlier, it is one of the most famous Singapore dishes besides laksa and chicken rice. Okay, after really thinking, right, I kind of understand why it is taken as a national dish in a way. Because if you guys think about it, back in the old days, Singapore was predominantly Chinese, right? And then we had a huge number of Chinese laborers from China. Thus, as the story I said earlier, this was their food for this was the food with high saturated fat in order to keep them full. So it kind of represents our history as our history, especially the Chinese part of our history, where the Chinese actually come to Singapore and work as laborers. So with such a huge significance, right, in the olden days, I guess that's the reason why it's actually considered as one of the national dishes of Singapore. Whoa, I'm really full. We've actually eaten 5 dishes today. That's a lot. But anyways, we hope that you have learned something new from today's video. As you can see, many of these foods are taken as comfort food, as they give Singaporeans a sense of hope. When eating these foods, Singaporeans feel that these foods are uniquely Singapore and actually belong to us or belongs to our history. We can also see from the foods mentioned that many of these foods actually come from different parts of the world, where back in the 1900s, immigrants actually come to Singapore and bring their cultures, their food to Singapore, to show that Singapore is indeed a country of different cultures, different immigrants, and different races. So these foods also reflect different races, different religions, different cultures, and it really shows Singapore as a multicultural, multiracial society. We hope you enjoyed today's video, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye!